Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to do a follow-up on the when the dollar dies. Okay, what I do on my videos is I share my experiences, and I tell stories about how I see things. Now, so the experiences I've had and what I saw from that experience, what I got out of it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean what I seen was accurate. That's why witnesses they make mistakes when they talk about what they've seen, and it's basically the same thing. Let me clarify a little bit more about what happened with the Mexican peso. Okay, since all this happened and all this, I was just driving through the country when this was happening. And like I say, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what's going on. All I know is things were pretty messed up. Well, come to find out, it was a 3-year period that they phased out the old peso and they phased in the new one. So, in other words, it was a different kind of situation than the one in Vietnam. Vietnam was a smaller country, and the government had more direct access to the funds, and so they were able to do it like that. Mexico, seeing it was so big, and they've got parts of the country that is way back in the middle of nowhere, kind of like Oklahoma would be. So, in other words, we would be the last ones to get our money changed out. So, but that's what they did, was a 3-year period to phase this money in and out. And the funny thing is, I've been going down there for years and years. Like I say, the whole time we've been married, we've been going down. Now, I don't always drive. A lot of times I fly, but I do drive down there. So I've been driving down there for 40 plus years. And at that time, in the late 80s and 90s, they were having a revolution. Mexico's having a revolution. But it couldn't get big enough where they could get national news. Well, I'll put it this way, they weren't going to give them any publicity at all. And the only reason why I knew there was a revolution going on is I'm driving through the area that's having the revolution. And I made a video, and I was talking about where they had a divided highway, and they made all the traffic go on one side, and on the other side is where they used for the helicopters to come in to resupply the troops as they were fighting the rebels. And that was down on the southern end of Mexico. And none of this really clicked to me. But like I say, they've been fighting since the late 80s, the early 90s, and I really didn't know for sure when it was that I was down there on that particular time with the money. But as I researched it, I found out 93 is when they were phasing out the money. And so, like I say, I got there a week after the phase out was starting. And after I stopped and started thinking about it some more, there was no more revolution. The revolution's over. I take it now, as I'm thinking about it, they probably didn't, I'll put it this way, the Mexican government didn't offer the revolutionists to exchange their money. They didn't offer to exchange it. So in other words, all the money that the revolution, the people doing the revolution, all the money they had was old pesos, in which were no good anymore. I mean, not only they changed out the new peso, one new peso for 1,000 old pesos, they would only do that with people that weren't in the revolution. So that pretty much stopped the revolution in Mexico. And but like I said, I never thought about it until I started doing my research, and I'm trying to figure out the time lapse because I go down there and back and forth, and when last time I seen the revolutionists. Because I say, you get stopped by military, you get stopped by police, you get stopped by the federalities, you get stopped by bandits, you get stopped by the revolutionists. The revolutionists would stop you, and you would donate for their cause. So you know, it was a squirrely time down there, and the reason I'm even saying all this stuff is because I'm trying to put all of this in perspective. We know the United States is going to hell. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. The politicians have completely screwed up the United States. The corruption is just beyond imagination. Big business and government work hand in hand, and that is something, again, that has always gone on through time, always. And now we've gone to the digital money, and so it's not going to be that hard for them to do any exchange of funds. So right back to gold and silver. And they will make gold and silver illegal. They're going to have to. They did it before, and they'll do it again. So gold and silver isn't really the one-touch answer. But the thing is, at least it's something that you have control of. And there will be an underground market for gold and silver. And like I say, you don't hear me talk that much about using gold and silver, because I would rather use my skills and talents. Now we're right back to what I try to get people to do: three-man militias, learn different things, and share that knowledge and be self-reliant. Because what's going to happen, I'm going to tell you this. I believe, now I may not be 100% correct on this, but I say I focus more on Chinese history. And in China, what they do, whenever there's a big change in government, the people in the cities are screwed. Just automatically, they're screwed. And the country folk are the ones that are going to be, how do you say it, liquidated. These are the ones that will put up a fight, and these are the ones that are going to be killed. This is the way things are done. And what it is, city people, country folk don't do well under city management. In other words, and that's what's going on in the United States, Agenda 21. They're trying to tell country folk how to live their lives, and it's city folk that are doing it. And that's why I say, whenever you go along with this a little bit at a time, you're going along with this crap, all you're doing is making the noose. You're slowly making the noose. And then when the time comes, they're going to come smash you. There we're right back to the three-man militias. And they're working together, and it's what I saw a little bit on TV. They had one community was fighting another community. That is not realistic. One community will not fight another community. Each community will need each other. One community will be growing, like where I'm from, they'll be growing corn or wheat or stuff like grains, and they're going to have to exchange that for meat. And that'll be in another community. So, and then the same thing, the people with the meat need the grain to feed the cattle, so, or chickens or whatever it is, so they will be working together. And so that is right back to the same thing. You have to prepare in the county. The communists, they're an extreme bunch. Now, what they did when the communists took over in 1949, they took everybody out of the cities and moved them out into the country. And they started growing food. That's what their only job was growing food. And what happens, the people that are self-reliant and can do things with their hands, they can make things happen, grow, they can make tools, they can do all this stuff. Those people are not the educated ones. I hate saying it like that because I see it the other way around. I see they are the educated ones. But the ones that go to college, they get smart and they're unable and incapable of physically caring for themselves. And what they did in China, when they moved them out in the country, what they did is they had these educated people digging with a hoe and doing all this hard labor, and their bodies aren't capable of doing that, and they died. So and the old people died because they had the old people out there doing all this manual physical work, and they wanted the old people and the smart people to be dead. That's what they wanted. And what they did is they took them out and they worked them to death. And but that's the communists. Now they do things. The Chinese communists, they are really radical. So I don't really believe it's going to be quite that bad in the United States. But I guarantee there's going to be a line between the city and the country folk. And already the line has already been drawn. Like I say, I'm from Oklahoma. We hate New York, Washington, and California, and they hate us. So the lines have already been drawn, and there's no easy way to get through this. There's no easy way for the people that I deal with, the 3%, the people with morals, the good people that want to be self-reliant, that want control over their own lives. There's not going to be any easy way to get through it on this. The only way you're going to be able to get through it is get on your knees to the government, whichever government is in charge of whatever your area is, and you just kiss their ass and go along with it. Sell out your other people in the community, snitch on them and all this kind of stuff. And there's going to be a lot of that. And that's why I personally want enclosed communities, self-contained communities that that's all they are is them only. They do not allow outsiders in. Now they will be, like I say, working deals with the neighboring communities and stuff like that, but you can't have people coming in and out of your area because they will be snitching on you. And a lot of these areas, you're going to be killed. That's just the reality. They can't allow these areas to prosper. They can't allow that. The government can't allow that. So what they're going to do is make an example and go out and destroy one community after another community. Any community that stands up to them, they're going to really destroy them. I made a video talking about that. I mean, in the old days with the castles, it was the same way. They destroyed the castle, destroyed everybody in there. They went to the next castle, and they said, do you want to happen everything that happened in the other castle? If not, then you open your gates and we'll come in. And then they did. They opened their gates because they didn't want to get destroyed. So that's why you need to be strong. And so a lot of the stuff I come up with, I know you're looking at it and you laugh. He's so radical. I've gone up against odds that were impossible. And even now, I still go up against impossible odds. You saw my other video when the police were here. And I had to get in a situation where, no telling what was going to happen. But it ended up nothing happened. But I'm prepared for this stuff. And I will meet it head on. And odds doesn't mean anything. And that's because I am morally right. Now eventually it's going to catch up with me. But hey, I will do my best until then. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot into this reality. This is not the movie shit. And that's what I'm saying. I don't live in the movie world. I live in the real world. And when I travel and I get out, even here, this is reality. I don't have no 911 to call. I don't have anything. And you need to wake up to reality. And that's what I'm talking about. Gold and silver, you have to have weapons, and you have to take care of yourself. I mean, don't think my Hoi Chi is not anything to laugh about. This is something that keeps me alive. A lot of times people don't hurt me because they want my services. And I have a lot of people that help me because of my services. But you have to be healthy. You're not going to be able to get all the medicine and all the crap you think you need, that they've been brainwashing people into thinking they need all this damn medicine. You don't. You do need to take responsibility for your health. But that's just one of the things. It's not that easy to be free. Freedom isn't something that's just given to you. You have to work it. You have to take care of it. You have to mend it. And it's a lot of work. That's why there's only 3% of us. And that's why, like I say, I focus on that 3%. I don't care if my videos go viral, go all over the world. I don't care. It's just the 3% that need to know and understand what it's all about. I'm concerned. That 3% is what makes things happen. The United States was created by the 3%. Like I say, most people were a bunch of wimps. They wanted a king. But the 3% stood up and said, we will govern ourselves. Those are the people that I communicate with. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.